Move to speak to first Raza Rumi, prominent Pakistani journalist, editor of the Friday Times. Many viewers will know the country's weekly newspaper, founding editor too of the online platform Naya Door Media. Welcome to France 24, Raza. First of all, explain to us, as you see things, what's going on right now in Islamabad, as you understand it. This Iranian delegation coming in, appears to be flying out again. What's the choreography? What's being discussed?
Thank you so much. I think the back channel has been open and the diplomatic engagement facilitated and mediated by Pakistan continues despite whatever the public posturing by different parties may be. And I think it is in that particular context the visit of Iranian foreign minister should be viewed, who met the Pakistani Prime Minister, the Field Marshal, and is now off to Oman and Russia, and would make another stop in Pakistan, as you reported earlier. And I guess it has to do with the two key issues which are under discussion. One is, of course, the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and ending the US blockade, the affiliated one. And secondly, the nuclear issue, which has been right at the top of US-Iran talks. And at one point, the role of Russians was also mentioned as to what to do with the uranium, which has already been enriched by Iran. And perhaps it is part of that. We really don't know, because remember that these parleys are also highly secretive, and the Pakistani government is very particular not to say much about these, particularly given its sensitive role as a mediator. However, what is definitely clear by now is that none of the parties can afford the prolongation of this war, and this ceasefire, which is the new ceasefire, which has come into effect. Now the challenge is, how do you turn into a durable peace? And for that, certain guarantees would have to be made to Iran, and Iran would have to also show flexibility from its earlier position. And I guess that is what Pakistan is trying to achieve by playing the mediator.
Now, with your contacts in Islamabad, can you give any credence to the reports of this comprehensive proposal, reportedly, according to Reuters, according to AFP, as we're on air, being essentially handed to Asim Munir, the Field Marshal?
That's correct. I've also heard many sources have mentioned that such a document exists. However, it is at a very preliminary drafting sort of stage. And this is perhaps why the Iranian foreign minister is headed towards Oman, as I mentioned earlier, because the future of the Strait of Hormuz and how it's managed would have to be something that Oman would also be involved in, given the geographical location and the necessity. So that is one part. And of course, what is to be done with Iran's nuclear program or whatever uranium it has. I guess these are some of the issues that feature in this framework agreement. But I guess one of the key demands by Iran is that it kind of needs a guarantee that it won't be attacked again. Because the last time there were negotiations in Oman, and while they were continuing or some sort of agreement had been made, the attack on Iran happened. That was in February, if you recall.
Yes.
So I guess that is what the Iranians are concerned about at the moment.
Here's the thing, Raza. I know this is something you pointed to on social media. You've just talked about it a moment ago. You talked about this back channel ongoing and open. What is the back channel? I mean, is it basically is the key conduit in all of this? Is the back channel the mobile phone of Field Marshal Asim Munir, who's then calling, as we know, he calls regularly President Trump? Is he the back channel?
Yes, I think you've summed it up rather well. So in Pakistan, on the Pakistani side, the two channels, the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has kind of taken the responsibility of being regularly in touch with the Gulf countries and other partners such as Turkey and Egypt, while Field Marshal Asim Munir is said to be directly in touch with the Trump team and Trump administration. And he is playing this central role because he earns, he enjoys the trust of both the sides. I mean, the hardliners in Iran, the Iranian military, the government, and Trump himself have that sort of trust in Asim Munir. And this is why he is the key conduit in which he's kind of trying to bring a settlement into force. Now, how far that happens and when it happens remains to be seen. But as I keep on saying, the war is becoming, the cost is increasing every hour for the United States and other countries of the world, and for Iran as well.
Yeah.
So I guess you come to a point where it becomes inevitable that you have to find a solution outside the ambit of war.
Okay, gives us a sense of why he's calling General Munir his favourite field marshal, and it is worth asking about because these two have had a relationship which goes back, I think, to June on the White House, having lunch together and having kind of FaceTime, to which President Trump's language shifted. Also, we know that the Pakistanis essentially extradited terror suspects behind the Kabul airport bombing, which killed 13 US troops and many others around the time of the US evacuation in 2021 of Afghanistan. They were seen as key critical moments for that trust to be laid. The General Munir, who's been given lifetime immunity from any prosecution, is he the most powerful man in Pakistan right now?
Oh, certainly. He is the most powerful man without doubt. And, I think that is the history of Pakistan, and it's how its political system functions. The army chief emerges as has always, wields that kind of power over other institutions. But in this particular case, since May 2025, limited war with India, where the Indian attacks were repelled and also many Indian planes were shot down by Pakistan, Asim Munir's stock within Pakistan has increased tremendously. And that is why he got the rank of the Field Marshal for life. And he also became the Chief of Defense Forces, which means that he's also the head of both naval and air force power of Pakistan.
Yeah.
And so I guess in that particular context, President Trump likes strong men. As you know, he has a great affinity with strong men wherever they are, whether it's Russia's Putin or Xi in China. And so I guess Asim Munir is a figure where Trump thinks he can do business with, and he's a powerful, strong man
Yes.
who also shot down Indian planes.
If
right?
they have cards, and the cards in this case perhaps is his mobile phone with the contacts in it and who he can speak to. We're also going to talk about what you've just mentioned, the Strait of Hormuz, what's going on there. As we can see, we've got the distinguished former Vice Admiral Duncan Potts with us as well. Before you go, I want to ask you one more thing, Raza, which is this. Imran Khan, famous the world over, first as sporting hero, ex-Pakistani cricket captain turned Prime Minister, 2018 to 2022, now imprisoned on alleged corruption charges. He says it's politically motivated. Revenge, he says, by the establishment after his removal from power. Now, there's concerns for his health. His sons have given interviews in the past 24 hours, Suleiman, Qasim, and they say that while Pakistan is having this moment in the sun, its intermediary role, this is to whitewash its image on a world stage, to cover the domestic human rights abuses, they say. What do you make of that?
I think the linkage between the two is definitely, it's a political way of looking at things. And of course, Imran Khan's son would be advocating for the release of his father, who without doubt is a political prisoner. Him and many others from Imran Khan's party, they've been languishing in jails on various charges, some of which are trumped up, some of which are genuine, but that remains to be determined by the courts in Pakistan. So I guess the linking the two would be difficult. I mean, of course, it makes political sense for them, for an Imran Khan's party, because both these events have come, one is a domestic issue of Pakistan, the other is a regional and a global conflict which has now impacting the entire world. And Pakistan's emergence as a mediator has surprised even Pakistanis themselves because of the kind of trust they enjoy by China, by the US, by the Gulf countries, Iran, and to some degree, Europe as well. well,
Yeah.
given how everybody is backing this peace process. So I guess it is a way of perhaps mixing the two, which would not be fair. But having said that, whatever is Imran Khan is facing these trumped up charges, he should be given justice, and the courts should release him. I guess that would be the right thing in a democratic country that observes rights. Yeah.
Good to talk to you, Raza. Thank you for your time today. Really good to speak to you.